it wasn't really possible for me to narrate the day. So I'll just kind of intersperse some past, present, and future stuff along the way. So I think I mentioned yesterday that we were in a quandary between whether we went to Bird Island or Isla San Jorge, which is a bird sanctuary. It's just a rock. You can't land on it, but sea lions nest there and lots of birds nest there. But you go out on a catamaran and you spend a few hours kind of anchored off of the rock, and they have a tender to take people out to go around it to get close, see the sea lions. You can go kayaking, you can go snorkeling. It's all, good, except that the water's cold, and I don't really like the idea of jumping in the ocean and or kayaking or anything like that, so I wasn't very interested. I wanted to see Pinacate, which is the volcanic fields nearby. So we split up. Michelle and I went to Pinacate, and Juan and James went to Isla San Jorge. And I can recount what happened on our trip. No good deed ever goes unpunished. When the van arrived, which is a standard 12-seat van, so that's 2 in the front, 1 being the driver, 3 in the next row, 3 in the next row, 4 in the last row. And when I say 12, that's 12 friendly people just heading to the airport. So there was already a couple on when they came to get us, and there was a couple at the hotel, an elderly couple, one with a kind of a walking stick. And so when we got on the shuttle, the hardest seat to get into is the one in the back, but it's also the one that's the longest. And I thought, well, if we've just got these people, I can let them get into the easy seat. I can get in the back, get a little room to spread out. There's not as much leg room, but if you don't have to face forward, that's not a problem. So I did that. I was going to say, oh, sure, whatever. I could have taken the front seat. As the tall person, they always let me take the front seat if I wanted, but then I would have been abandoning Michelle. So I wanted to sit with her, and I thought, well, I'll just, we'll do this thing. We get in, he started driving off. He said, all right, we're going to be heading off as soon as we stop by the Mayan Palace and pick up 5 more people. So we already had 6, and so we picked up 5 more. We were packed in there. And, of course, by this point, I'm in the back far side, packed in like this the whole day, which was not good. Anyway, we drive out after going to the Mayan Palace, which is in fact, it's over by Bird Island. We could see Bird Island from where we were, picking them up on way in the hell out there. And then we headed back to the volcanoes, which we passed on the way from Arizona. When we hit the dirt road, you kind of go through a little gate, and then there's a sign that says bathrooms, pointing out nowhere, like to a bush. You think it's a joke, and the guy stops and says, does anybody need to use the bathroom? Because this is the last bathroom for the next 3.5 hours, or however long it was for the trip, because there are none inside the park, so that's it. So we thought he was joking at first, because it really does look like it's just pointing at a old bush or something. But it turns out a long way off down the road, there is in fact a single freestanding bathroom building. And we went down there, we all used the bathroom. And despite the fact that they had all the drinks you could want, there's no way I was going to drink anything, because there's no bushes, there's no bathrooms, it didn't look promising. And then we hit the washboards. The whole thing, 80-some kilometers. Nothing but washboards zipping along at 35, 40 kilometers an hour. It was an absolute nightmare. And of course, I was in the back of the van, which gets the most play. It was, there was nothing in my system, but it bounced me enough that I wanted to go to the bathroom anyway. But there weren't any. It was a hold it, stop here, look around, do your thing, get back in. The whole way.
Alright guys, this is the first crater. It's called El Elegante. Alright, this is 32,000 years old. Right there, the information. 800 feet deep. And you can see it right there in the...
I don't know if you can hear me over the wind, but this is the first crater we get to see today. Quite impressive. I wouldn't want to fall in it. She probably wouldn't either. Mm-mm. This is the second crater, Colorado, and this is a very different nature. I think what we're seeing is more, let's say, non-volcanic Earth here. I mean, it is, but it looks more like this is a collapse where it dropped down instead of blew out. But I'm not sure. Either that or it's much older and there's a lot more erosion has occurred. Burritos for lunch on the rim of the crater. And my feet are dangling off the edge. We're at the visitor center museum now, awaiting the movie that comes with part of our tour, darn it, in English. We're gonna go take a look at this little nature trail out across the lava flows. At one point, we pulled up at a magma flow. Obviously a 12,000-year-old magma flow, so it's solid. But you can see this big careening mass of where the magma, as it was being pushed along, the front end of it that stopped. And there's signs everywhere saying don't climb on it. And there's obvious paths everywhere where people have climbed on it. Which is bad enough. And you think, wow, can't the people, don't the guides stop them? No, the guides encourage it. In fact, he told us to do it. Basically, we were looking for crystals. He showed us some that were in the sand that form because of the water and the magma as it's cooling. And then he had us go look for them. And then when you found them, we was trying to break them off and take them home with you. Now, if you did this in a national park in the United States, they would clap you in irons. The whole point of the national park is to preserve it. But here, it's so people can come chip a piece off and take it home. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. We went to a couple craters. At one of them, we had lunch. That was part of the tour. It was burritos. It was carne asada burrito, and it was fine. It wasn't the greatest burrito I've had in town, but it was fine. And when we were done eating, Michelle and I both had a little bit of burrito left, and apple core. No cookies though. We ate our cookies, and we were trying to put the trash in. He wouldn't let us put the food in the trash. He set the burrito and the apple cores out on the edge of the crater and explained, that's not trash. The animals will eat that. So we leave that here. We just pack the plastic bags. Again, in the United States, you're not supposed to be feeding the animals your trash. It's a different world. It's a different world here. It really is. Anyway, we came back, and Juan and James came back, and they saw dolphins, but they couldn't get any pictures because it was before the sun came up. They apparently went to the island. They saw a bunch of sea lions, lots of sea lions. They went kayaking. They took the tender around and got some pictures of the sea lions. And James even jumped in the ocean and swam around for a while. Apparently, if the sea lions are out in the water, there's no sharks in the area. So that was, it was apparently safe. So it sounds like he had a lot of fun, but they were zonked. Came back. We went over to we went to a chicken place that's supposed to be so phenomenal. It's been in business since '98. Best pollo asado in Rocky Point, and we couldn't figure out how to get anybody to take our order. We tried to order at the thing. They said, "Oh, are you eating here? Sit down." We sat down for 10-15 minutes. No one was taking people's orders. The only person working there seemed to be cleaning tables. And I finally just got pissed and we left. And we swung by a taco shop, and I had some tacos al pastor, and Michelle had some tacos carne asada, and Chuan finally got some shrimp camarones. So she had a tostadas de ceviche de los camarones, and she was happy. She got some shrimp.
The salsa are so spicy, I cannot feel my tongue.
So that was pretty much it for the day.